Look, O Hoopoe, at those shining shapes you see around you on the ground. They are the bones of hyenas, bones of vultures even. Thirst-stricken folk are dying in Garowe and Boch, exhausted, their bodies pricked by Gorundo thorns. They have no grain but what would avail them. The water to boil, it is nowhere to be found. See, a band of men has been dispatched against the locusts that live here in this land. Soldiers in trucks appear from every side. Poison is scattered on the grass, and there is death abounding. But have those locusts done anything to bring this fate upon themselves? No. A decision was made one day to kill them. That was all. So, Hoopoe, stop your wailing and your moaning, or you may soon be hunted in your turn. Stay quiet, speak softly, and you may yet escape arrest.
It dispossesses, right? It militarizes and then it privatizes the commons, right? So those are really basically what conservation does. It puts boundaries around the commons, it puts enclosures around the commons, and then it militarizes it, right? So when you see park rangers in there, through all these national parks, and I just wanted to give you a quick definition of protected areas, because it's not something, it's not throughout so common in our regular language and vernacular. But what we mean by protected areas, these are these vast areas of land that have been set aside for biodiversity protection or biodiversity conservation, right? So think about national parks, for example. There are also nature reserve, wildlife refuge. There are also game reserves. Game reserves are also set aside for conservation, although the reason why it's called game, right? It was really for hunting, right? Recreational hunting, sport hunting, right? That's why they call them game reserve, but they're using this pretext of conservation to actually justify the need to set that aside. But really all they do in game reserve is just hunting, recreational hunting. But we're not going to go into there today. It's a lot to cover, but that's what we mean by protected areas. Any kind of land that has been put aside for protection, for biodiversity protection, either for wildlife or just ecosystem protection, right? And so before it even became, we call it fortress conservation because it's basically putting enclosure, right? And putting park rangers there who, by the way, right, they're not, these park rangers are not these friendly guards, right? These are actually heavily armed with, AK-7, with heavy artillery. A lot of them have fly drones, they're in helicopter. I mean, it's basically enclosing the commons and putting, it's a form of military occupation through and through, right? And then for any trapasser or someone who comes in and try to just go traditionally hunt in there, or subsistence hunting, they're hunted down. Some of them are killed. I mean, they're basically, I always consider these places as a terror zone for subsistent hunters, right, who have been completely removed from this land and are no longer able to enter these protected boundaries where they used to go and hunt for food, right? These are places that are actually play a very, very important role in terms of food security for rural communities.